Well, class, this is particularly awkward. Just a little awkward, a tad. I mean, I can think of some other awkward moments in my lifetime. One time walking that girl home. Story for another time. Awkwardly enough, I was recording an unboxing where I had the knife out and I was cutting the packing tape open. I went through a whole spiel. I had some problems. I've been recording with my iPad and it kept taking a shit on me. So I thought I got it done, but the first 15 minutes I recorded, the file's corrupted. So yeah, awkward. No, that just sucks. Never mind, it just sucks. It's not awkward, it just sucks. So yeah, it's not really awkward, it sucks. So we're gonna redo this. And unfortunately, some of the first reactions are going to be a little off, especially with one hat not fitting as well. So that's what I kind of like about the unboxings. It's an initial reaction, and there have been times where I will admit that I have acted like I did a new unboxing, and I retaped it. I'm sure Sergio has called me out on that before, and kind of gets that satisfaction of me admitting that. I will admit it, but this time I figured just transparency, just open it now, or just have it open and just go through the hats. Big haul. I got a few new hats here. Was it 6 in total? This is a big one. These were from Wrigleyville Sports, Clark Street Sports. Is it Chicago January? National Hat Day discount. Friends and family half off discount. The whole damn store was half off. Even jerseys. I didn't really need a jersey until I saw those Electric Blues jerseys, but they weren't out at the time. Anyway, so we're going to go over this and have some fun. So hopefully my recording stuff works this time. You good there, iPad? I'm going to check it and it's going to take a shit on me. Oh boy. Get out a notebook and pen or pencil, because class is back in session or redoing. Yeah. Alright, so we'll go in chronological order. We'll put Clark Street's down there for a moment, and we'll get into the Wrigleyville Sports. They had a 25% off. They had back-to-back weeks of 25% off. First was for National Hat Day, which is what I got it for, and then the week after was CubsCon, when they dropped that Electric Blues uniform out of nowhere, the new on-field. Don't know if it's replacing the City Connect. It might be. I haven't really heard any confirmation on that, or if it's what it is, because I know the Red Sox are looking to, I think they've announced it before, and there are early rumors that they're going to have a new green City Connect uniform. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. So let's go through the Wrigleyville. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is what I talk too much, if you haven't realized that. This 373 people that have been subscribed to me have realized that over the years, or if you've watched me over the years, because I got an email notification that I have reached, I think it's a lifetime of 50,000 views, which is a cool thing. I know that other channels have gotten there, either related to hats or to video games or to clothing, makeup, cars, card collecting, any other hobbies out there. I think just in general, to see that kind of achievement is a cool thing to see. It has taken me a little bit longer. It's still a good feeling, no matter what. So thank you to all of you who have watched out there. I have kind of transitioned and gone away from the idea of just focusing on numbers, really. Just, storytelling. I'm not a YouTuber. I shouldn't have really tried to be a YouTuber, but I'm a storyteller. So, and let me tell you a story about these hats here. So this first one is this Walking Cubs 5950. Now, it is off-white. I will admit I've had a hat hard-on for off-white hats in the last few months. It's a good color. I have thought off-white was a cool summer color, but I've also seen in the wintertime it works really well. I think it's mainly the team. I think having my off-white Blackhawks or Minnesota Wild hockey hats, looks cool in the winter. Like the ice, and then the off-white in the summertime is a cool look as well. This one is the Walking Cubby Bear logo that they introduced last year. They've had this logo before, but it was the Walking Cubby Bear in the sea, not just the bear by itself, which seemed revolutionary to just take a part of the logo away to remake the logo even cooler than it was. And that's why the spring training hat was in my top 10, maybe top 5 of last year. Made a video series, top hats of 2024. Tone, same color brim on the bottom, which is fine. Light blue, really works out. This is the hat that didn't fit. It's a little loose. So I'm hoping with Wrigleyville Sports that I can work out some exchange or return with them. That I would like this hat for sure, but already it's loose, and if I go to bend the brim, oh geez, then it's just not comfortable. You're gonna notice that it's loose and think to yourself, no, this is not the right way to wear it. I got 2 hats in this pickup, and the other one is New Era as well. Kind of the same color. It's a shocker. It's another off-white. I'm going to call it canvas because it's a winter classic, and it's easy to call it canvas color when it's a retro style, when they do the winter classic uniforms. I did go to the Winter Classic this season, and it was fun to, especially they had this block party, this parking lot that was dedicated for a fan experience. When we walked in, went with my mom. My uncle is a season ticket holder and for the Blackhawks for a few years now, and went with cousin Jack, 10. He's a hockey player himself, so this is a really cool experience for him. And we saw the primary reason to be at that parking lot fan experience was to see the Stanley Cup. I had seen it, but never got my picture taken with it. Everyone else in the family has, pretty much, so it was my turn to, and Jack's turn as well. At least that Jack can remember. He did get a picture because he was just about won in 2015 when they won the Stanley Cup the last time. And my uncle knows some of the Blackhawks, like Dennis Savard, kind of well. And he was placed inside of the baby inside the cup. So he can remember this one. But also, walking in, the Great One was there. The Great One was talking with Dennis Savard, Chris Pang, one of the other Blackhawks former players and current announcer. Wayne Gretzky was there. To be in the same breath area, the same vicinity, was incredible. It was really cool. So game itself was fun. The pregame of it, the ceremony was really cool. The lead up was great. We were in the nosebleed section pretty much, where the wind was really wild. It was a cold day. It was raining while we were standing about an hour and a half waiting for the cup pictures. It was worth it. But then the game happened, and let me say I'm used to seeing a Chicago team lose at Wrigley Field and to a St. Louis team sometimes as well. Those Blues fans are obnoxious. They're obnoxious. And like my uncle said at the end, well, when we were in the car, he was saying, they can taunt us all they want, you know, and say, oh, you guys suck, you guys lost, we're the better team. But they have to go back to St. Louis. So who's the real loser? So the hat itself, it's a golfer snapback. The other hat I had on, this Cubs 47 brand Hitch style, it's a snapback type, but it's a quasi structured crown, like a dad hat. Like a dad hat strap back, but it has a unstructured crown. It's relaxed, as they would say. But with the Hitch and the golfer, it's not exactly an A-frame. I think I've gone over this in other videos, but I feel like it's a retro style, especially with the Hitch hats. They do it a little bit better than New Era, to be honest. But this is still a really cool hat. Great colors. The canvas, off-white, the red. Not a big fan of the rope myself, but that's just a personal thing. It's 290s. This one I might cut off. I did get a golfer snapback that's a Cubs, like the on-field blue color, but this rope is red, so it kind of makes sense. This one kind of feels in the way, so I might snip this one off. Probably might. So, but just a nice, cool hat to add to the collection. It's different. I like being different. Hat diversity, of course. And just to put it on, it's an adjustable hat. It's gonna fit. I usually have lately been of a 3 snaps myself for a lot of the snapback hats, the Hitch, the golfer, 950 itself. But I'm gonna be a little picky here. I like with a lot of the Hitch hats, there's more of a natural curve in the brim than there is kind of a flat brim. Almost feels like diving board for the golfer snapbacks, but still good hats. It's just, some companies do design better than the other, so that's just how it is. All right, so let's move on to Clark Street Sports. They had like I said, a big half off sale. It first started in store, and then it went online for 2 days each, but then they extended the online portion. Half off everything, no exclusions, which was incredible. I was really tempted with getting a t-shirt, a Cubs t-shirt with this logo on here. I'm more of a hat guy, so I'm gonna get the hats, not the t-shirts. And if I get a t-shirt, I get plain Nike dry fit shirts. I get the boring ones. That's my style. It's easier to pair. So with this haul, I got 4, and it's kind of a one of everything. It kind of feels like, just about. So with the first one, it looks familiar. Blackhawks with it's like a plain Jane type with the Winter Classic logo on the side. And if this looks familiar to some people, this is the hat I wore at the Winter Classic. Yes, you in the back. Yes, I did kind of commit. So yes, one way or another, Collector Sports will still get my money. And this time it was through online. It wasn't in store. I don't know if I feel better if I buy from like a shop like that in store versus online. I know it makes no difference if it's like Lids. Or like Dick's Sporting Goods. It's like a big chain. 47 Brand is an online only place. But yes, I did a switcheroo or thingamabob with this guy. Still a good hat. So this Cubs hat, shocker, it's a Cubs hat, is a 47 Brand cleanup. It's not off-white. It's more of a tan beige. It's got like a light peach tone, undertone in a way. It's not off-white. So just as you can see, it's not the same color. So, but this one is adjustable. It's a standard dad hat. 47 Brand is really good at that style. And this one has the 1927, I believe it's 1927 logo from my research. I don't have many of the historic Cubs hats really, and it's more of, to be honest, I don't think the Cubs as much embrace some of their retro logos or uniforms as much as some other teams do, to be honest. The Electric Blues is kind of a little different. It kind of infuses some of that retro idea, but it's not, exactly retro, where you do see teams wearing retro uniforms from the 80s, 60s sometimes, even older. And the Cubs have a really, long history. I said history. It didn't have to be good, but long history. So just a nice, additional touch for the collection in terms of, adding to the history for the Cubbies. Speaking of history of the Cubbies, there's a little bit of a story time here. I like gift giving, not during Christmas. Christmas is a clusterfuck because there's so many people you have to keep in mind. More for like birthdays or for, just because gifts, in the sense of it's an art of pairing up that gift to that person. And for me with hats, when I get someone a hat, it's to kind of let them know what they or who they remind me of, to connect to sports in a way, their personality, their character. I had a coworker, Mike H, who left the store last April or May, and I got him a Boston Celtics hat. Two accounts, two reasonings. One, he drank a lot of Dunkin' Donuts. So, Dunkin' Donuts is from that area. Made sense. And he was very organized. He would always be cleaning up. He would always tackle the aisles that none of us wanted to do. PC gaming, the toy aisle. Nuh-uh, we didn't want to touch that. But he took care of it. He was very organized in that, very clean for taking care of that. So I thought, those Boston teams as an organization are well organized, well run. So that's why I got him that. Story time of being at Concordia. I graduated in the middle of the school year, December of 2017. And it kind of awkward where people are like, oh, I'll see you after winter break. No, you won't. I'm graduating. I'm leaving. Oh. So, yeah. So I had written out letters to certain close people. I'd gotten gifts to certain people, and most of them were hats. Or I tried to do hats. This was in 2017. This was before being Professor Hatter, before before I started, one of the people that I got the hat for was Andrew. He was kind of the it guy on campus. Small campus anyways, but he was heavily involved with chapel. He was going to be a pastor. He had that mentality. He was going to spread the word of God. He was involved with music. He was in the choir. He was in one of the sports teams. I forget which one, if it was like track and field or ultimate frisbee, or he was everywhere. He was very much the it guy, Mr. Concordia. And he pulled the me on me. He pulled a Jeff on me. I was a transfer student. First semester was fall of 2015. I was in band, and I was in the music wing, and we have like a lobby, kind of central area between the choir and the band room, and kind of a big hangout spot for the music people. And he had passed by, and he said, "Oh, I like your shirt, the Chicago Bears shirt." Son of a bitch, I use that. That's my line. My mom would always say that when I was younger, in like preschool or elementary school, that's how I would make friends. I would say, "Oh, I like your shirt." And it's just been kind of a running joke in my family about that. So him and I were close. He pretty important. I always joked that he looked like Chris Bryant. Every time I'd go to a Cubs game when Chris Bryant was on the team, I would post on Facebook or I'd message him and say, "Oh, you looked good on third base today. Oh, hey, that double in the fifth, that RBI, that was a great hit. Way to get the change-up ball." And he would laugh along with it. He was a big Cubs fan coming from Iowa. Iowa Cubs out there. My last concert at Concordia, I had Cubs cufflinks, and I traded him. So it was a combined choir and band concert. It doesn't happen often. So he had one of the Cubs cufflinks, and I had the other one. So kind of a bromance-ish thing. But the hat that I got him, I know this is finally getting to the actual end of the story here, to the hat. This is full circle. This is so full circle in terms of I got this hat at Clark Street Sports, probably a different store, back in 2017. I got him this hat, and now I have it. And I got it primarily because it was a good sale. And I kind of figured it's been quite a while. I've eyed this hat up before. It's unique. Not just because it's a dad hat, but because of the design. I've seen shirts on this before, but of course I'm the hat guy. This Chicago Cubs Hawaii pattern looking hat. And I'll do a better close-up on this in B-roll. There's a lot of icons on here that repeat, but there's a lot. There's old logos that they've used. There's pennants. There's a W flag, All-Star logo. Old World Series logos, 07, 08, 2016. The Ivy, the Marquee, 100-year anniversary logo patch. It's just, all over the place. This is a really unique design. I think that the Cubs, being as old of an organization as they are, can pull this off. I think maybe Red Sox, Yankees, Dodgers, Giants, Reds could pull this off. Maybe like Braves, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Cardinals. Cardinals is another oldie, but this is very unique for the Cubbies. I don't really think many other teams could really pull it off or pull it off well. So this is this next hat is a combo of what you've already seen on the table here in terms of logos and hat styles. This one, another Cubs one, is the Walking Bear spring training logo on a golfer snapback. Just figured this is a cool logo. Wanted more of the golfer hat style. to wear. This one, I guess technically the rope kind of works here. I think better than the black on here. I mean, yes, it color coordinates, but I don't know. I might snip it off. We'll see. But I like the colors for sure. Navy is, if I look back at my spreadsheet, my one tab of all my hats and my hat colors, that I have quite a few Navy hats. Now, not all blue hats are Navy hats, but all Navy hats are blue hats as defined in the collection. So Navy specific hats make up quite a bit of the collection. So it's also high school colors for me. Navy and Columbia blue. It might be a sky blue. It might be a Carolina blue. I call it Columbia blue. Whenever I see a light blue, it's, unless for some reason it's like the icy blue underbrim. This one is gray, which I like. This one was a red, which is okay. That works. I think it can work either way for these kind of hats. And yeah, kind of looking forward to wearing these more. See, this material feels a little bit more cotton than this one, even though I'm pretty sure it's the same, yeah, same cotton material. It's a great material, but for some reason this feels lighter, that I would wear this in the rain, you know, or, you know, as a, you know, secondary hat in the summer. Too long talking about this one. So the last hat here, I think, is a very special one. There are trends in the fitted world that I've seen where some of them are just how it goes. Like, you know, what's the hot logo now? You know, we had the sliding bison logo. Everyone lost their shit on that one. The current one is the Ducks logo, Anaheim Ducks, and plenty more in between. So let me know your favorite or one of the logos that was just, you know, beaten to death like a horse in the past. There are some trends where you're just dumb. For anyone who bought a Realtree hat, you're just dumb. It's just one of the worst trends. And you let the hat retailers run with it for a few months. Not just a few weeks, a few months. One of the worst trends. And I got sick and tired of making the joke of, oh, it's camouflage. I can't see the hat. Where's the hat? It's like, yeah, I even got tired of it. But then there are some trends of that it's just not my style. It looks great, but just for some reason it's not me. And sometimes it's based on the material. And for me, I wouldn't have gotten this hat based on the material if it wasn't for the fact that it was because of a certain influencer, certain collab artist. Clark Street Sports worked with Caitlin Hendricks, one of my favorite Cubs fan pages on Instagram, TikTok, and all the other social media platforms. And they made a corduroy Cubs hat in a 920 New Era style. Love that as a dad hat style. This is a off-white, yep, off-white, but it's got the Chicago script on the front. Never really seen that Chicago script before. I don't know if that's a part of the Cubs history. Just doesn't seem as familiar. But it's a nice chain stitching. Seems very fancy. The blue brim, top and bottom, blue button, and blue strap. Love the color coordination. And on the side is the waving cubby bear, or the, as I've heard before in the fitted community, the waving pregnant cubby bear. So, nice little touch. This one, of course, is going to fit, being a, you know, adjustable hat, but just being in hand. And I did get a pair of corduroy pants from my brother for Christmas, which, yeah, first corduroy for everything. First corduroy pants, first corduroy hat. So I'll have something to match when I go to opening day at Wrigley. I'm kidding. This is not going to, unless it's a nice day outside, this is not going to see any weather. I would think corduroy does well in the rain to begin with, but this is such a nice and special hat that I don't want it to get ruined, which is kind of the mistake I made when I wore the Wrigleyville and Brie Delio collaboration hat on an August day when it was hot in the triple digits. Another Cubs influencer or sports page that I follow on social media. She's primarily a Cubs fan, other teams as well, but was also a nice design. So kind of the ladies of the Cubbies here. So this one was for sure a top design last year, but we'll see how many more hats can, maybe jump this one pretty high up there to begin with. But yeah, I would only get a corduroy hat for this kind of special situation, this special moment or reasoning, because it's from Caitlin Hendricks. Go, Cubs, go! Well, I think take two went pretty good, don't you think? Well, you don't know. You didn't see the first one, and you'll never see it. But let me know in the comments down below. I saw some people on FHS post that they had gotten some of the 5950 exclusive fitted hats that were on sale already for $25 and then got chopped down to $12.50, which is incredible. For some of their exclusive fitteds, I have most of the ones that I have already wanted. There's a few where it's like, that's a good one, but some of the other ones kind of took priority because hat diversity, want to make it special. So we do have a big benchmark milestone coming up here for the hat collection here and for the channel. We are at Cubs hat number 156, 157, 158, 159, 160. Do you know how many games are in a regular MLB season? That's right, 162. 2 hats away from having one Cubs hat for every game of the season. That is, of course, the Cubs are the most hats that I have of any team, among 800 some hats, about 810, I'm sure, with this. I think for any hat collector to have 20% of one team in their collection, regardless if it's 100 hats, 427 hats, or 1,052 hats, that's a lot of hats, especially for 162 of a baseball team. That's a pretty big benchmark. I don't know who else has done that. I'm sure people have, with a bigger collection than mine, or maybe more focused on a certain team. But I really want to do something special. Not just like an exclusive fitted hat. As much as one of these hats would be cool, something that's like really Cubby, something really special would be really nice. I have one hat in mind, but it might break my rule of hat counting. But it's really special, and it's something that I've been missing in my collection for about 8-9 years at this point. But we'll see. We'll try to get some other ideas floating. So as always, hats off to you for watching. I will see you next time in class, everybody. Class is dismissed. Bye, everybody. Go Cubs. Go Chicago. Shop local.